All right, here we go again. Even though it's not that type of inspection, I'm still going to go get some spackling and stuff and start filling in the nail holes and all that. Want to stay focused. They already agreed to let me out of my garage lease early, which makes sense for both of us. We both clear that off the record a month early. That makes sense. Right. And then I can also move all my stuff out of each place and have it in a normal storage unit. God will give me some guidance down the road. I could end up traveling around for a short bit. I gotta get with Kansas and ask them how that works. Like if I go month to month traveling and then I come back, can I keep my Kansas plate? I'll talk to them about because I got to renew anyway. I'm not gonna be able to get out of there before the renewal, so I'll be renewing for a year. Oh, shoot! My tailgate opened. Lift gate. So yeah. That's weird because it didn't alarm. So it don't look like it. So I swear I hit the hive this morning early, like they said. I couldn't see. There was only one. I was trying to figure out what the other one was. I thought maybe it was inside the small hive. Right, they were just starting. So I hit it, and there was one on the outside. It immediately, pretty much succumbed. I hit it with too much. I wasted some, but I feel bad about it. I hate living. I should have moved in the inner city where I wouldn't have to be around critters that I had to take out. That's what I liked about in certain places when there was nothing to really exterminate and stuff like that, but few and far between. So so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see another wasp, and I see a couple more, and I'm like, they're not, because it says leave it for 24 hours and they'll succumb to it, and I didn't see them succumbing. To me, it looked like they were trying to start a new hive, like one beam over. I'm like, what? Right. So, yeah, they may have actually been, doing the nasty. I don't know. I'm not sure. They were doing something, and they looked like they were succumbing to nothing. It looked like they were going to start another hive. So I grabbed it and shot them, and then they're gone. Or they could have been on the verge of dying, just kind of hanging out. They weren't very active. Right, so I just ended it as quick as we could. I didn't want them to suffer. Right. I think I got it with that one. So if you noticed, one of my uh, clay lamps, the ones that are glazed, had an imperfection on it, or imperfections, a lot of hand work. But one had an imperfection in the coloring that broke. So again, that's not the attack I'm talking about, but that's what's happened. They're cursing me, and no, it isn't just immigrants or something like that, right? Dirty cops, what it is, and dirty PIs. So again, they that's how they do it. They launch that type of attack, bring a bunch of new people in. So again, that church is unsafe. I can't say it's safe for anybody. To tell you the truth, I don't know what they're hiding. I see what they did. Yeah, it must have been hacked. Yeah. So I hived this morning, but it didn't work the way the instructions said. Some came to create a new hive, it looked like, so I had to take them out. But I think I got it now. Apparently, at night, they don't all come back to the hive like it said. Some, I guess, are out doing other stuff, and then they sleep wherever they are, and then they wake up in the morning and go back to the hive. Right. So, yeah, I got attacked just recently. They also broke one of the clay lamps, but it was the one that was imperfect, the one that had an imperfection on it. I'll probably have to end up ordering some more. They're blocking all my Amazon, or not all of it, but a lot of it. But there's like a head curse behind it, a psyop behind it. Now you can't buy that now because it's going to make you sick. We're going to put the Russian stuff in it. Right. That's what they're doing. But it's a part of a psyop and a metaphysical, spells and curses and possessions. They're devils, man. The only reason we have crime is these type of people. Otherwise, we could raise people up and heal them, and we wouldn't have any more crime. That's how it works. Period. There's no other options. They are Satan incarnate on this planet, each and every one of them. Oh yeah, the Lord wanted me to explain something to you. Like in their mind, they got buddies. Some of them are cockroaches and these wasps. Because what's happening in the planet now? The insects are going to inherit the planet most likely. And the insects may have plotted that back even before he wrote the scriptures. I think it's in the scriptures. Because the insects aren't annihilators, and they don't cause strife. I guess they do, though. Insects cause strife. I'm serious. They got like all sorts of weird stuff in their head, and they think it's like their buddies or something. So what do cockroaches want? Cockroaches want dead people because they eat them. If you get cremated, they don't, but otherwise they eat you. They love it. Fricassee or whatever it is. The thing swears to me that trans people have been around me. I can't tell. Because I work on everybody's issues, including trans people issues. Because really, they're their soul form. They're not the thing that's here, regardless of how they see the body. Right? Well, it could have form. It's both form and formless, I believe. Again, everybody has stuff, and it's a combination of what everybody has, but everybody has stuff that's a little bit off, and Jews know that. So again, that's a Jewish kind of proverb in itself. But you got to believe at least some of it. But if you believe all of it, it might be a little bit of a stretch. Right. Oh yeah, Hashem wanted me to tell you the other things. Things are coming up that I'm supposed to tell you. So when I'm a kid, I bet Jacob, and again, I wasn't being told a lot of stuff about our ancestors, I mean, it was very basic up to I think I was there in third grade or something, maybe fourth grade. Probably fourth grade. I think it was first through fourth, maybe first, something like that. So, but I was having dreams, and I was talking to the ancestors, and they were in a cave, and I never knew that they were buried. Like they think they're buried in a cave. But Satan has the eye on the planet, so he could see that I was dreaming and talking to Abraham and Jacob and Leah and Rachel and Sarah. So he was trying to kill me. That's part of it. I didn't know that when I was a kid. I didn't know that until like 10 years ago or something, or 15 years ago. No, I'm really the king of Israel. So I was talking to all them. Get me ready for my job. I didn't know back then anything. I know I was king of Israel. I know I was sleeping. And then, like, my dreams went away. Like, it was very difficult for me to ever remember a dream at a certain point. But back then, I had clear dreams, and I was talking to them. But see, this is all part of the evaluation that God uses. Right? It condemns if they start doing crazy stuff like that, then the planet gets condemned. Well, I'm one of the witnesses for whatever reason God chose me. And you can see a few reasons why I chose me, but I'm not like selfish with God like all of you. I want you all to have God the same as I do. I don't have a problem with it. That's another reason why I chose me, because I won't preclude you from God, but you all block people from God. It's the same thing that the Rabbi Yeshua ben David said to the Sanhedrin. Now remember, Jews, when I say Sanhedrin, it was the same ones that were killing all the Jews and all the rabbis too. Right. No, when I'm in church, I don't go, right, thank you, Larry. I don't do that part. Right. They can vouch for me if they tell me, oh, he does it. Who knows? It could be liars. It could be all liars. I can't chance it. I gotta get on to the next thing. It's perfect timing. I should have time, but if they're gonna be that way, be it now and during my move. Right. Well, not everybody's the same in such a big organization. So again, I got some reasonings why this all happened. Oh, I hope I didn't leave my keys at home. I don't think I did, but I had trouble finding them. Yeah, there. So, the LDS is a perfect organization for what the deep state does. Not dinging LDS. I'm just saying for what the deep state PSYOP does, it's a perfect organization. Well, you're the sinner. This is why we're doing it. Now, the CIA uses, and all the psychological operators, wherever they come from, and even some psychological operators have never been in a spy organization. They're just trained up outside of it. And it's usually, a lot of it's just kind of, it's kind of metaphysical and PSYOP training. And so the way the CIA just uses that, you got to do what we say because you're a sinner if you know. So again, it is true. And it's just, it's worldwide. So, and it breaks down into the stake. And you got so many people, you got so many positions that it's easy for their people to work into those positions. And again, they can PSYOP you without you knowing it. And like somebody in the LDS church would select their person, not knowing that they were manipulated and PSYOPed into selecting the PSYOP person. So it's really easy because there's just a ton of assignments and stuff. Right? I don't know. I'm sure they're in the presidency. I'm sure somewhere. Right? I don't know because you got so many presidents. I'm sure they've gotten into it. Yeah, I still didn't understand the complete structure because I didn't have time. Like it started working and I started wiring it, and then they broke it. Well, they know when you're wiring it. Right. That's why when we went to the baptism for the dead, it almost killed me. I forgot to hold my nose. I couldn't get to the thought. I know that works, okay? Right. But again, at the end of it, I remembered. Then Hashem used it. It's like, yeah, maybe you better rinse your nose. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, maybe I should do that. I got a sinus rinser. Pretty intense. I don't know what country they're from, but they're pretty intense. Some foreign countries are intense, right? Like like Slovakia or something. No, not that. Actually, it's just people I know from Slovakia were pretty chilled, but they may have been operators. But back then, not all the operators were all different. Right? In Naples. No, I wouldn't say they were operators. They could have been like influenced, right? They promised them citizenship and all that. Hey, kid's moving his hand. Sikh man's there holding his son or grandson, and the kid's I'm healing the kid with my hand, and he's sitting there doing the same thing. So he's been waking healing. We'll wake. I mean, he's a healer, but we'll wake him up. Like I was moving my hand before I knew I was. That was weird. I mean, even the fact that somebody would talk about that when I go back to it was the preacher's daughter-in-law, and the preacher's son was the assistant preacher. So, pastor, whatever you call it. So, so she says, oh, there's Larry with them hand gestures. She actually said, there's Yehuda with them hand gestures. I'm like, are we doing this asleep? I'm not trying to drink anything. I'm just walking straight. It's probably the hat I got on, right? It's the hat I got on, right? You don't like it, right? I got that blue line. Some Spanish girls effing me off. I'm like I'm like 3 feet behind them, and they're acting like I'm running them over or something. So they got that scam going. Just passed that law, no running or lying. Right. Nah, they didn't pick it up right away, but as soon as she wouldn't shut up, I'm like, and started speaking out. I'm like, click, it's the hat. Deport, mink. Right. Right. Before I doubt that law is going to pass because what they called it. Right. Being the ICE is undignified, is doing undignified things. Whether you intended it or not, it's the wrong name. Latinos been effing off my life for I don't even know how long, but I've been helping them. I was one of the people that pushed the Dreamers and all that. Right. Yep. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, she don't like my head. Acting like I'm gonna run her over. What a weirdo. Even if it is now, she's still a weirdo. Right. I order? I can't remember if I got one of these. Brown. I'm red. I have something like that. I don't know if it's clay. sunglasses on. Not sure what color I want. That means there's psychological disruption. Actually, so that store needs to be healed. So, like, if I was like a regional manager of Walmart, I could come to this store and heal it, and then things would pick up. That's how it works. Well, it's supposed to work, because I don't think the healers are getting their positions anymore. So. I think I already have a color like this one. I don't know if this is too pinkish or not. How you doing? Not sure what color I want to paint this. I don't think any of these are really meeting that requirement. I go over to the other store to get it. Where's the wall? Yeah, that's great. I go to the store and an immigrant attacks me. At least he was verbal about other people just passive aggressive and plot behind my back. Right? Okay, what's that? Heavyweight smack. I mean, what's this one? Plastic wood. I don't think I need plastic wood for anything. Plastic wood's much more expensive. You get one of the big ones, I guess. Spackling. Thank you, Larry. I should just like passive aggressive me and then verbalize me. Well, Arnie's right, man. We don't ask people to worship us, but they definitely are not. They're the opposite of humble. Put it that way. When Arnie said they should be more humble, it's not that they should be humbled and attacking us, or not attacking us, humbled and we should be attacking them, right? Right. But again, the mind is saying that because they're owning the mind in our country and using it for their own devices. So they picked everything up. They're using the same psyop they used before, but at least I know about my cranial tissues, so it's not going to work. Right. Okay. Make sure I got everything. So yeah, so it's different than the WITSEC program in that WITSEC is kind of like you're in or you're out. This one will have graduations where you don't have to be completely into it. You just, they dox you, or you need, or you're on a certain case and there's threats that are credible. You can get a new security system, or you could get you can go all the way up to being moved, and then or help with your like moving expenses. Like this guy just got doxxed. Apparently, I guess they know where he lives. I didn't. It's kind of light on specifics. But let's say they know where he lives. He has to move. DHS has to foot his bill. Should be footing bill for his move, right? And then he has to move to a secure community. So if he's paying, let's say he's paying $2,000 a month where he is, and it costs $3,000 a month to live there. He needs a $1,000 housing allowance at least for the next, I would say, 12 months at least. Right. And then in some cases, they're going to need a new identity and need to have that sealed. So they don't have to do, like, the officer doesn't have to worry about, convincing the court or whatever it is, or even going to the court. The agency goes to the court. DHS, what is it? Or HSI, what is it called? What do I call it? Oh, the LEO, the LEO SEC program goes and gets it done for him. And anybody that's on your task force. So anybody to start with feds and anybody that's on the federal task force, and then maybe later we could finance a larger program. I can hear Elon. No, no, build rocket ships. Okay. So again, start it simple, stupid, I guess, with just federal people and people. Anybody that's on the federal task force also that's working, and it's again, yeah, I guess anybody's on the federal task force. When it comes to kind of splitting hairs there. Correct. I don't know if they have inspectors in HSI or not. Yeah, Christ, I can look it up. All right, this is before I think. But again, like I said, if I'm receiving the blip, then you have to be careful about people, approving each other's, housing allowance or something, Excuse me.
Okay, didn't hurt a bit.
All right, all right. Right, so you put people that are on the task force then. So I'm gonna go see it. Oh, there it is. does. Hope this woman and her family member cleared out so I can go back to shopping and not worry about being singled out. Right. Mm. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't think this was that situation, but they'll show my photo to people, and they'll say, if you ever see this guy, start with him, and we'll give you some money. Right. Or I may even give money up front, or they may be on a regular payroll. Right. Giving money to be give somebody money to be a protester might be also being given money to docs, law enforcement officers, and well, what you have to find out. I don't know if it's true because there's so much disinformation. So the one law enforcement officer got drunk supposedly and something happened. Right. If it did happen, what you have to find out is did he frequent that place more than once? All it takes is once, and in fact, some of these people are already in there. I was in New York, and they were getting me. I was being hit, and it's when I left New Jersey real quick. I went up to New York to see if I could outpace them and get away from them. Right, and I went to I think it was a Puerto Rican restaurant. It was a Dominican or Puerto Rican. I had a fabulous meal. So I went back for a second meal. And when I ordered, I was waiting for the food. These two guys came in. And it just, I was like, okay. I'm looking at them like, don't look right. And he said, you want to talk to the cook? So the cook comes out, they talk to the cook, and I'm like, I'm not eating it. Right. Two thugs came in, and that's it. I paid and I left. Well, I'd already been hit several times, including when I was in the Marshal Service. I told you I went to the wharf rat. I took one bite of my food and knew that it was drugged. And it's the only time I ever made like a date to eat. The two contract workers. It doesn't have to be the two contract workers because if somebody said it on the phone, right, they would, they listen in on the phones. So when we were like in the Marshal Service at that point, I knew they listened to everything. They would even hit my Nextel. They gave us Nextels. They would hit the Nextel to show that they were listening to my Nextel. When I was talking to Jim Spicer. I didn't tell Jim Spicer that. Right. I took one bite of that food and I was gone. So they really wanted to hit me hard. Then I was walking back to the courthouse. I saw a customs agent that I'd helped so many times. And he was like, I'm like, I went to the wharf rat and I got sick. I'm sick. I ate there. I'm sick. He's like, he said, you're lucky